Hi everyone, Susan Winter here from susanwinter.net. So I've been asking you to write in, and you do. You write me and tell me what the kind of videos that you want to see. Sometimes your question is really good, but it's not enough for an entire video. So today I'm grouping a couple together to answer them one piece at a time. So the first is from T. I'm going to call her TB. Can you do a video on how to communicate to men what you want in an effective way? Yeah, absolutely, I'm all about effectively communicating in a way that is not threatening and not making them bad or wrong. And that begins with you knowing clearly what you want and need and stating it in a very diplomatic way. She says, I get along great with my guy when we're together, but the only major problem with him is that he's the worst when it comes to texting me back on time. He also doesn't text me every day like I would want. Okay, here's the thing. That's her indicator that he cares for her. There are going to be times, male, female, straight, gay, doesn't matter, that you are in a relationship or getting into partnership with somebody and you need some form of confirmation from them. It could be a phone call, could be a good night text. There's that very rocky road until we are so certain of our partnership. And in that time period, we each have our own markers. Like I remember a great guy friend of mine was beginning to get together with his girlfriend and she was sick. And he wasn't asking her how she was doing. You might remember this video. And he was freaked out because in his code, that wasn't a thing. It may not make sense to you. It may not be something that sounds rational. But if your partner asks you to do something and it grounds them, keeps them connected to you, if it doesn't affect your serenity or your security or your sanity, just do it. Because you know what? At some point, you're going to be the one who asks your partner to do something that makes you feel good. We all have our markers of what it means to feel loved. Whether you think it's reasonable or rational or not, this is what this woman needs. And so when you understand the reason behind it, you might be a little bit less resistant to actually doing it. She goes on to say, I told him how I felt before when I was mad, and when I do this, he gets silent and he backs off. Okay, that could be the way it's communicated. We don't want to ever make our mate feel bad or wrong. The point is I like the method of putting it on the table, where you kind of say, here's the issue and here's the problem and here's how it makes me feel. Give them the alternative you want. Illuminate. When you text me, I just feel so happy. Give them a cookie. Give them positive reinforcement. It makes me realize how much I love you. It makes me so calm. Whatever you need to say, you've got to attach what they're doing, the action, when they do the action, how that's going to make you feel, therefore how the relationship will be so much better for them as well. I don't think that this viewer's wording of it is quite what I would want it to be. Try for more diplomatic. You may have a very sensitive partner who feels badly, wants desperately to please you. And the way you say it may remind them of being threatened in their past or whatever, but you know it's not effective when they shut down. And she goes on to say, at first I was polite, okay, good for you, but as he kept doing it, so I clearly got more vocal and mad about it. Please help. I want to be my authentic self and not pretend this behavior is okay. Okay, so this is what I love about you guys, and you're so, no matter what your modern day problem is, which believe me is for dating in this time period because it's nuts out there, you're all trying to do your best. And you're trying to be a great partner. Explain to your partner, this is a thing. We all have our things. And in order to get your partner to acknowledge your thing that you need, you've got to acknowledge theirs. Could be that they like to have their head stroked, or that they need to be told that you love them, or that they need you to pay attention to them when they're talking about something in work that they feel proud about. Look for the key factors. If your partner's a good communicator, they'll tell you. So it's not that what you're doing is wrong, but the more effective way to incentivize a person to do these things is to explain the enormous payoff in our happiness and in the happiness of the relationship. And don't make them bad and wrong when you tell them. Okay, now I had another interesting question because young guy, I'm guessing. Okay, basically he told me, a cool guy, this is the nuts and bolts of it, that he's deeply physically attracted to someone with a repulsive personality. Okay, and why can't your hormones make you attracted to someone with better social grooming? I love this, must be a Brit. So intense physical attraction to somebody with a horrible personality. Well, again, I'm kind of proud. You're one of my viewers. That means you're aware of the fact that they have a personality. I remember a boyfriend telling me once, that he never even noticed a woman below her waist. She could have hooves. If you're a young guy and you even notice that she doesn't have a great personality, I mean, you're way ahead of the game because you're even looking at a woman as having a personality. So, okay, my commendations to you. This is great. The imprint that we have for sexual attraction is really strange. I remember years ago, I had a home in New Jersey, and so I'm driving back from my apartment in Manhattan, and Adam Carolla was on this radio show with Dr. Drew, and the guy called up, and he said, I'm really turned on when people drool. Okay, so Dr. Drew, brilliant guy, started to go back into the childhood. The first kiss that he got as like a young pubescent boy was from an elderly lady that was kind of drooling. She was maybe had a stroke or something. There was that Velcro, as I call it. But the sexual attraction, what turns us on, there is a kicker in there someplace. You have a thing for redheads. It didn't come from nowhere. There was a movie you saw, a person you saw, an event, something that sparked this fusing of attraction with something specific. So in the case of this very bright young man, I love that social grooming, it's a good one. So he's talking about the fact that he can clearly see a repugnant person with this incredible hormonal attraction. I'm really guessing it's to the casing of the woman, that there's something about her physical anatomy or her coloring or disposition or whatever, or her attitude that's keying into something of your past that you like, and it's fused like Velcro, and it's coming up on your radar as sexual attraction. The only bizarre twist to that would be weird is if you are attracted to somebody who is cruel. That's that's a tricky one, but I'm thinking you're not, because you're already upset with it. Live a little bit longer. The testosterone will start to die down. You'll think normally. It's okay. So listen, those are just two today. Thank you. Write in. Sometimes you've got a great question, but I really want to break it down so you can see how we get through these things. Keep writing to me. Listen to my show on iTunes, The Susan Winter Show. Go to my website. Check out these consultation packages. The intensive is awesome. You start in one place, completely transposed and completely reconfigured. So individual sessions, and I do group coaching, the party. That's a fun one. So take a look at all that. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to see, and we'll take care of it. Thanks a lot, Susan Winter.